All right, if you are just now joining us, we are going over notes that talk about different kinds of angles. The very first kind of triangle we have is an acute triangle. And something is an acute triangle if it has 3 angles that are less than 90 degrees. Then we have an obtuse triangle. And an obtuse triangle is one that has an angle that is larger than 90 degrees. Then we have a right triangle, and a right triangle is classified by having an angle that is 90 degrees. Another way that you will notice is if it has this box here. So it could either say that it's 90 degrees or it could have this box here that means that it's 90 degrees. And the last one we have is a triangle that has 3 congruent angles, and that is an equal angular triangle. Okay. And something that we notice is anytime that you have 3 angles that are the same, the sides are going to also all be the same. So just keep that in mind. Something that is not on this sheet that I want to talk about is how many degrees a triangle is. So a triangle adds up to be 180 degrees. So that means if you took all of the angles of a triangle, they would add up to be 180 degrees. So if you look at this picture right here, it talks about having 3 angles that are the same. So we have 180 degrees and 3 that are the same, which means each angle on this is going to be 60 degrees. Okay, and so that is something that is important. Anytime you have an equal angular triangle, all of the angles will always be 60 degrees no matter what. So now we're going to kind of backtrack and look at these different angles and kind of determine what we would call them. So we have C, D, E, and I will highlight these for you. So, okay, that was really bad. Let me readjust how I'm sitting. So maybe I can do a better job coloring these in for you. Sorry. I'm at my friend's house in Colorado and he does not have any furniture. It's very strange. So I'm sitting in a chair and there's no table in the whole house. All right, so we have C, D, E. What kind of triangle is this? That's perfect. It's a right triangle. So I'm just going to go down in a row and highlight these. And wait, hang on, I was not trying to change the color of the text. 1 second. And I'll highlight these and I'll do them in a different color so you can kind of like look at it when you look back at your notes. So then we have BCE right here. And what kind of angle would this be? BCE. That's perfect. It's obtuse. Great job. Next, we have, hang on. I need to remember to change what I'm doing before I change the color. Okay, so we have ABE. ABE right here. So we notice that it has all those lines in the corner. Can anybody take? Yeah, great job. It is equal angular. Okay, so also I'm really horrible at spelling. So I probably will spell equal angular like a bajillion different ways by the end of this section on triangles. The good news for you guys is that your stuff, your tests and your quizzes are all multiple choice, and I'll make sure I spell it right on there. Then we have BDE. So BDE to D to E. So it's this one right here. So something that I noticed right away is this right here is 90 degrees. And then we still have this extra space left over here. So that means that this triangle has to have an angle that's larger than 90 degrees. Therefore, it would be, yep, obtuse. Good job. Then we have CFE. C to, oh, hang on, I got the wrong color. That's not what I wanted. CFE right here. CFE. So kind of the same thought process that we used on the last one. If you'll notice, So you are not correct, but I can definitely see why you guys feel that way. So if you'll notice, there's a right angle right here, but some of it is in this little one right here. So it's not actually using all of it. It's cutting that right angle off. Do you see how there's like a little chunk of it right there? So this is actually what you would call a scalene, or sorry, not scaling, acute. It's an acute triangle. So just make sure you like go slow when you answer these. Go ahead and take a screenshot of this and add it into your notes. So you got about 1 minute left to take a screenshot of this and add it into my notes or into your notes. I have my own notes. So far what we've done is we've looked at triangles by their angles, and now we're gonna look at them by their sides. And then after that, we'll combine and look at both together. So that was their angles. Now we have sides. So looking at them with their sides, again, I'm sure I will spell a lot of these wrong. Something that has 3 congruent sides is gonna be equilateral. And anytime, I guarantee you I spelled that wrong. Anytime something is equal angular, it's automatically equilateral. And anytime something is equilateral, it's automatically equal angular. Okay. Then we have 2 congruent sides. So we call that isosceles. And the last one, no congruent sides, is called scalene. All right. So we have equilateral, isosceles, and scalene, and those are the way that you name the sides. Anytime something is equilateral, it's automatically going to be equal angular also. So let's go ahead and take a look at this and see what we can determine. We have JKM. So JKM is actually this entire triangle. And if we look at this, we know nothing about the sides. The sides are all going to be different, okay? So this would be called a scalene. Good job. Oh my gosh. So if you're not answering these questions because you're embarrassed you're going to spell something wrong, please don't let that be what's holding you back, because I don't even know if I have these spelled wrong. It's a little embarrassing. All right. Then we have KLN. KLN. So when we look at this one, we have 2 sides that are the same. And you know that based on these little marks right here. And we talked about this with angles, but we can talk about it again. So do you see how these have 2 marks on each side? And this one right here only has 1. Those 2 marks indicate that those 2 sides are the same. And the one that has 1 is the side that is different. You'll see it again right here. These lines mean that those 2 sides are the same. So this would be a isosceles. So hang on, let me go back and highlight here so that helps you. I don't know if that helps you, but I feel like it helps you. And then lastly, we have JKN. So JKN is right here. And you will notice on this that all of the sides have exactly 1 line, okay? So that means that it is, great job. I love it. Perfect answer. Equilateral. Why did I write equilator up here? It's equilateral. Let me. Oh my gosh. All right. Maybe I can erase this one word. Equilateral. I'm so bad at spelling, guys. That's why I'm a math teacher. All right, go ahead and take a screenshot of this and you can drop this into your notes. So I'll give you about 1 minute, take a screenshot of this and drop this into your notes. I'm gonna go ahead and clear this here in about 20 seconds. Okay. So what we're gonna do now is I'm actually gonna go ahead and give you guys, I'll give you guys until 12:38. So that's 7 minutes. And I'm gonna have you guys do this section on your own because I want you to be able to like check yourself, and then I'll go over it before we start the quizzes and the knowledge check that's for a grade. So each of these, and you'll just do this on a piece of scratch paper. You don't have to turn this in. You have until 12:38 to do this. So you got about 6 minutes, which should be fine. I'll do the first one for you. This is a right isosceles triangle. So all you're doing is looking at this and you're picking one word from the angles and one word from the sides to describe this. So I will give you until 12:38 and then we'll go over this. You're just doing it on a scratch piece of paper just so you can kind of test like how you're doing and if you need help before we go into the knowledge check. So you'll do this on your own. We'll do one more activity together and then we'll do a quizzes and a knowledge check. So you have until 12:38 to write these down on a scratch piece of paper. Go over this. So if we look at this, so check your work with this. And if you have any questions, then let me know. Okay. So we have an obtuse angle here. And the sides, we don't have any measurements. So we're going to assume they're scaling. This one right here, we know that all of the sides are the same and all of the angles. So we have an equilateral and there's no and sign, equal angular. I think that looks a little better. This one right here, all of the angles are small. So this is an acute and we don't know anything about the sides. So we'll call it scaling. Then we have a right scaling. Then we have this one, we know two of the sides are the same, so it's isosceles. And one of them is over 90 degrees, so it's obtuse. Okay. All right. Do you want to go ahead and take a screenshot of this for your notes? Does anybody have any questions on any of them or need help with any of them? We're going to do one more segment together, and then we will head into a quizzes. So we have one more segment together, and then we're going to take a quizzes. All right. All right, so this one has like a ton happening in this picture, and that's okay. We are going to sort it out. So it tells us right here in the directions that PR is bisecting. So we have line PR right here is bisecting SRT. So this is cut in half right here. So we can actually go ahead and fill in a little bit of information here. So if this one's 30 degrees and it's cut in half, this one would also have to be 30 degrees. So we know that. Change this font to black. Then it says that U is the midpoint of RT. So if this is the middle right here and this part is 8, we know that this side right here would also be 8. Okay. So we know if this one's 8 and we see a line right here, this one also has to be 8, right? So I'm just like kind of filling in some information. And if all of these sides are 8, we know that all of these angles in the corner have to be 60. There's a reason I'm filling all these in. So that's kind of exciting. We know that a whole triangle adds up to be 180 degrees. We also know that if the sides are the same, their angles will be the same. So if this side has a degree of 8 and across from it is 30, this one has a side of 8 across from this would also be 30 right here. We know that vertical angles are the same. So we have this angle right here is vertical with this one right here. So we know that this one would also be 90. So there's a lot of things that you can do before you actually start doing these. Oop. Okay, so we've got plenty of information filled in right now, and we'll kind of just start. And if we need to have more information, we can do that. So we have UQR. Oh, that's not the color I wanted. UQR, 1 second. So let me go over here. We have U to Q and R. So we're talking about this triangle right here. So we notice that we have one obtuse angle because one of them is 120 degrees. And we have two sides that are the same, which means it's isosceles. So next we have this one that I'm highlighting in orange, and it's RST. And if we look, all of the corners of that are actually 60 degrees. So we know it's equilateral and equiangular. And there should not be an and sign. We have SRQ. So SRQ is going to be this one right here. And we have a 90-degree angle, a 60-degree angle, and a 30-degree angle. So all the angles are different. And so that makes it a scalene. And we have one right angle, so it's a right scalene triangle. And a 30, 60, 90 triangle is the most popular triangle that you will find. Then we have PRT. Oops, that should not be that color. Oh my gosh, I'm having some color struggles over here. PRT. So P to R to T. So PRT right here. So we kind of looked at this one earlier, and we know that this whole side right here, if you add 8 and 8 together, that's 16. And this one right here is also 16. So we know that it's isosceles because we have two sides that are the same. And we also can call it obtuse. We know it's obtuse just from looking at it. We also know that this one's 60 and this is cut in the middle, so it would also be 60. Then we have TQU. Oh my goodness. I'm not doing very good with these colors today. I am sorry. TQU is this little one right here, okay? So all of the corners of that are 60 degrees. So that means automatically it's equilateral and equiangular. Your English teacher would probably die if she was looking at how I'm spelling these. And then lastly, we have PQT. PQT. So we know that that one is 90 degrees because we figured that out based on vertical angle. So we have a right scalene because we don't know anything about the sides, a right scalene. So go ahead and take a screenshot of this to add to your notes. You're taking a screenshot of this to add to your notes. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and clear this. And then we are going to do a quizzes now. So this is very important and I need everyone to pay attention. When I go to put these quizzes in the gradebook, it is nearly impossible to put them in when you do not name yourself with your last name. So for instance, my name is Brianna Eberly. So when I go to join the quizzes, I would either name myself Eberly B or Eberly Brianna or E Brianna. It has to start with your last name because when I go to put it in the gradebook, everything is completely backwards if it's not done that way. So please, please, please name yourself with your last name. I'm going to go ahead and start the quizzes. So we are going to go ahead and just go over this very, very briefly, and then you'll take a knowledge check. So how many degrees are in a triangle? 180. What is the name of this triangle in the picture? It's an equilateral. Oh wait, did I stop screen sharing? Oh, now I stopped. Oh my goodness, hang on. Sorry, I got nervous that I was talking to myself here for a second. All right, what is the name of this kind of triangle? It's an equilateral. Then it wants to know what is the name of this kind of triangle. In this picture, it is a scalene. What kind of triangle is this? I don't like this question. I would consider it to be a scalene because nothing is, or sorry, I'd consider it to be, I don't know, because nothing is marked. But I think that they're going with right. So I would throw this one out if it was a test. Next question, what is the name of this triangle? It's isosceles. Then we have a right triangle, an equilateral triangle, an isosceles triangle, scalene, equilateral, equiangular, equilateral. This, you have to look at the numbers. They're all different. So it's scalene. Then we have isosceles, scalene, equilateral, and isosceles. All right. So those are the answers to your knowledge check. You are now going to go in Google Classroom and do the types of triangles 7 through 15. When you are finished with that, then you may leave. So you have the knowledge check types of triangles 7 through 15 that you are doing right now. I will put you in a breakout room and you may leave when you are finished with that. Does anyone have any questions?
Which one is it?
Types of triangles 7 through 15. Did you find it?